How you doing? Welcome to another Sandwich Chamber Spotlight. Today we are in Falmouth at the beautiful Atria Woodbriar campus. Today we are here with Donna Sickler, who's the Regional Vice President, and Sue McKenna, who's the Assistant Executive Director. And we also have Oliver here. Does Oliver have an official title?
We're working on the official title. Mascot seems just a little too...
He doesn't seem like he would like the name mascot, actually. But awesome. Well, obviously this is like the most beautiful place, and I wanted to get a little bit of origin out of the way. Can you talk to me a little bit about the origin of this place and how it came to be?
Absolutely. Atria Woodbriar is such a great story. We have been in Falmouth for over 20 years, and our original building was built in the late 1960s. It was originally a motel, and it went through several amalgamations. Atria's owned it for the past 20 years, and we purchased the property right next door, and that's the building that we're in right now, Atria Woodbriar Place. So this new building opened in 2013, and we just finished complete renovations of our original building this past summer. So now we have two great buildings. This building is primarily an independent building, and then the building next door continues our campus, and we can offer memory care services and also provide additional needs to our seniors that live here.
Yeah, I think get a little bit more into the services as far as what this place is. Probably, just so people understand like what kind of services you offer here.
Okay. The brand new building offers 3 different dining venues, so it's quite a wide variety of dining services. Our dining room opens as early as 7 a.m. and all the way through 7:30 in the evening. We are really excited about the dining venue that we offer. I think on your last visit, you were wowed.
Yeah, the menu is incredible. When I came here for lunch, and I was like, what is this menu? And you're like, oh, this is what the residents get to pick from every day, and it was better than any restaurant menu.
It is, and that's exactly what we have. We have a restaurant kitchen that prepares meals as they're ordered. So we're really excited about that offering. So the quality of our food service is amazing. I don't think anybody loses a pound when they move in.
The only complaint we get is people put on about 5 pounds when they move in from all the good food.
So the food services are just absolutely amazing. I think on par with any restaurant on the Cape. And I would challenge anybody to come in and visit us and check that out. In addition to that, our residents are, we offer a wide variety of programs for our residents. We have an eclectic group here. I think today you saw the meditation.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the meditation.
So Sue, do you want to expand a little bit on some of the programs that we offer?
Sure. So we have over 250 programs that happen here during the course of the month, and we're super excited about them. They all fall into the 8 different dimensions of engaged or living, and it could be things from lifelong learning, health and fitness, culture, civic engagement, spirituality. So we bring in folks from the community to offer our residents rich programming, such as the meditation class that you saw today, or yoga, or we might run a mini university where we have a lecturer that comes in. They might be affiliated with Woods Hole, or they may have been a previous college professor. About a month
ambassador.
ago. Yeah, I was just going to say, about a month ago we had a former UN ambassador who came in and gave a lecture on Syria. And I would say the one thing our residents can't get enough of is the opportunity to continue learning. So they love this stuff. They thrive on it.
And we're here with Elliot, or Sir Elliot, as we'll talk about in a little bit. You're 92 years old, and you've been here at Atria for over 3 years.
You're right. Exactly.
Can you talk a little bit about your experience? What sets Atria apart from other places like them?
Okay. I don't think there's any other place like Atria, candidly. The biggest problem in Atria is that old people like to complain, and there's nothing to complain about here. So therefore, it's just a great place to be. The staff are unbelievable. It's just unusual to find a staff that's as consistently good and treat the residents here with care, and it's wonderful. The food is great. And they keep the building immaculate, which is very important to me, especially being a Navy guy. I had and they come in every week and change your linens and do your laundry and what have you. The food from breakfast, lunch, and dinner are great. The staff, the entertainment is amazing. I mean, for a facility like this, in my humble opinion, it's so unusual to get this kind of talent. But Melissa, who runs that, is amazing. So we have an incredible woman who runs that part of the business here. Transportation also. I have a car. I still drive, but I don't drive well at this point. I know it, so I don't like to drive. And they take me to the VA for my treatment.
Right.
I'm still being treated for post-traumatic stress disorder, and that's a long way to the Brockton VA, but they take me for my psychiatric treatments and so forth. And they have, I think, 2 limousines and 2 buses, and there's always one available. And if it's not available, Melissa just finds some way to get you there, because I know a couple of emergencies I had, and she just handled it. I don't have one complaint about this facility, and I can tell you this. My oldest son is a doctor. He's the corporate director of psychiatry and mental health for Partners Healthcare, and he did the research, and he and my other 2 sons just chose this place, and there was no question about where I was going to be.
Right.
So I thank everybody here, because they make my life comfortable, and considering problems that I have, and I couldn't think of a better place unless it was at home with my wife.
Now, talk a little bit about your military history. I know you took a special plane ride
Okay.
recently.
I enlisted in the Navy, and I was immediately put on a destroyer after I was trained at a camp in upstate New York, and I was quickly posted to the DD 455, which is the USS Hambleton, which is a extremely highly decorated destroyer in World War II. I was a gunner on the ship. At 18 years old, I was involved in the sinking of a German U-boat, which we actually serviced and sank. And my gun was a 5-inch gun, which was instrumental in sinking the ship. I was involved in shooting down my first enemy aircraft when I was 18 years old. It was the Donner 217 dive bomber. And then went to the invasion of Normandy at the Omaha beachhead. Then we went to Cherbourg, the invasion of Cherbourg, then southern France. And then after many battles with the Luftwaffe and submarines and so forth, we were sent back to our country to be to become a destroyer minesweeper in anticipation of the invasion of Okinawa. So I was actually now in my second theater of war. At Okinawa, my ship was involved in, we were there 90 days in the invasion, and we were in combat actually 84 of the 90 days. For example, we ate Spam sandwiches at our guns and so forth, because we couldn't even really leave our guns, so we were constantly attacked by kamikaze planes. I've been honored to be knighted by the French government. I was appointed a Chevalier of the French Legion of Honor, which is the highest award in France for any civilian. Napoleon Bonaparte was the very first one that ever got that honor. Eisenhower was a more recent one, and of course I'm in that category, which I think is wow. I keep on saying wow. And I was flown to Washington, D.C. A couple of years or so ago on a flight from New England, and we were on a chartered flight. I didn't even have to go through customs because the state police actually handled it, and we flew to I'm trying to think. Well, we flew to an airport in whatever, and then we were transported by a convoy by state police to Washington, D.C., and I was treated to an incredible day, unbelievable. The National Cemetery, we had reserved seats, and they changed the guard while I was there and so forth. And then Baltimore, Maryland was the airport in Baltimore, and then we were escorted back to Baltimore that evening for a special dinner, and then flown back to the Logan Airport, and then picked up by the state police and sent home.
That's pretty incredible.
So, I've had a lot of unbelievable experiences like that.
Great.
I did get 2 special accommodations in Okinawa. One for my role, well, both for the same role of shooting down kamikaze planes. I think we shot down in my ship like 17 of them or something like that. The bigger thing is that we destroyed 240 mines in the minefields at Okinawa. That's when my ship had been converted to a destroyer minesweeper, where they took off the Air 5-inch gun and put on minesweep gear. And that was probably the most dangerous of anything, being in a minefield with those kind of mines and being attacked by kamikaze planes at the same time. So I'm like a cat, I have 9 lives. I hope I have more than one left.
92 years old. That's pretty impressive. One last thing. So for people that are wondering, of facilities to go to, what would you say is the most attractive thing about Atria?
I don't think this, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 10, and I don't think there's anything that approaches an 8 maybe or something. I mean, according to my son, who's the doctor, he said there's no place in the country that is any better than Atria. I mean, I'm not getting paid for this, It's like I thank them every day that I'm here, the staff, the way they run the facility, the management here, even to the service. It's just unbelievable. It's, you know what this is? This is a cruise ship that never leaves port. That's the way I look at it. And I've done a lot of cruising after I got out of the service and so forth. So I'm very humbled to be here, and I thank God that there was a place like this to take care of this old man.
Great. Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for your time today.
It's just an engaged community.
Another great partnership is with Falmouth Community Schools. You've seen our beautiful pool. So they come in and they teach classes for the public, and then they also teach classes just for our residents. And our residents can graduate up into the public classes, and that happens with the pool and also with some exercise groups that come in. So we've had some great success with partnering with the Falmouth community and the community at large.
Great.
And some of our residents, when they came in, weren't regularly exercising. And we have a really significant percentage of the population now participating in these programs, and they're increasing their strength, their flexibility, their balance. It's just their overall health is improving.
And I know off camera you were talking about one of the residents that we're going to talk to about how the family was concerned that she was moving in here, and that now they can't find her because she's so busy with other activities now. It's like a great social atmosphere here.
It's true.
Here with Posey,
Yeah.
who is 86 years old.
Right.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
How long have you been at Atria?
I came a year ago, the 1st of September.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the place. It seems to be a very unique place. Tell me your experience.
Well, what I said before I came in was, is it all right if I say this? I worried, my children said, "Mother, you can't live alone anymore." And so here I am, and the only thing I worried about was that other women would be snobby, and I haven't found that at all.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, most people like to take advantage of the activities that are here, and I certainly do.
Talk a little bit about those activities. What do you take part in?
Well, anything to do with painting.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things. Any place that they're going where I've never been, and because I didn't come from the Cape, I came from Marion. There are a lot of places on the Cape that I'd never been, and so I take advantage of that.
Absolutely. How about the food? Talk a little bit about the food. It's legendary.
The food is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What's your favorite plate? What do you like to eat? You have a bunch, or?
Well, I have a bunch. I mean, I like to eat,
Mhm.
and I can get away with it. So, I mean, I'd never turn down a dessert.
And they have a lot of desserts.
Yes, yeah.
What about your activities besides going to places you haven't been to? Are there any like yoga or anything
I
you
go to
take part in?
yoga.
Yeah.
Went this morning. Yeah, that's terrific.
It seems to be a real happy place.
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
don't see depressed people in a corner. You see people happy and
Exactly.
smiling, and
Exactly.
what do you think the big secret is for Atria? What is it that they do that sets them apart from other places
Well, I think
like
they
this?
offer so many different activities. If you don't want to do something today, I'm trying to think I went to meditation. Now, when I first went to meditation, I thought, what am I doing? But somebody had recommended it, and I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah.
So,
Great. And is there anything else that you want people to know? Like, say there's a senior that's at home that has to make a decision to come to a facility like this. What do you think about Atria that's that special? What would you say to that person that's trying to figure out where to go?
well, I'd say that, first of all, I haven't met any women that are snobby. I mean, I haven't. And that would be one of my first objections. And why would I say to come here? Because there's so much to do. Now I'm trying to think what I'm going to do this afternoon. Well,
Well, they've got a wonderful pool.
yes.
Is that something that you
Yeah,
do?
I do.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time today.
Well, you're
so, Cozy, you are
welcome.
86 years old, and you've got a
Yeah.
great facility here.
I know it. I'm lucky.
Right.
I'm lucky to be able to be here,
Awesome.
to have my family think so positively. I mean, they went around and looked at places, well, drivable from Marion.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, oh, there's no question. This is the best. So
Great.
here I am.
You could be as busy as you want all day long. The particular resident that I was referring to, her husband had passed away. She was home alone. Her children lived a little further away, so they couldn't see her every day or even get there maybe every week. And they were concerned about her becoming isolated and, perhaps becoming a little bit depressed from her loneliness. And she moved in here and she took to it like a duck to water. She became involved in a lot of the different programs, the activities. She started her own group. And the feedback we get from the family is we can never find her. She's never in her apartment. And one of my favorite stories is it was at the UN lecture and they called her on her cell phone and she picked up the phone and she whispered, "I can't talk, I'm in a lecture." And she hung up on her family.
Sounds like a teenager. What a teenager would do.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, you guys undertook a major renovation, 2013, I think you said. What was the reason for that? I mean, were you guys kind of looking to do something like that? Were you bursting at the seams? What was the rationale behind that?
Well, there were a couple of things going on. As Atria is very concerned about our impact on the environment. So when we constructed this building is actually Gold LEED certified.
Nice.
And then the original building was built in the late 1960s and really needed some sprucening up and freshening up. And as we think about our commitment to the environment and our impact on the environment, we realized that we needed to bring all new utilities to the building to be more efficient, and then really looking at the building, making sure that it was on par from an amenity standpoint with this building, as well as having the best environmental impact. It is a real challenge with renovated buildings to achieve a high level of LEED certification, and we're very proud that the building next door is also Gold LEED certified.
Mm-hmm.
So as not only is it beautiful after its renovations, but it also has the least impact on the environment that we could hope for.
Yeah, and I guess one of the other reasons why we're here is just you guys are a rare commodity in the Cape. It's not like every town has a facility like this and people have choices where I can go here, I can go there. I mean, you guys are really like a one-of-a-kind facility here.
Yes, we're frequently referred to as the cruise ship that never leaves.
That's funny.
So we're constantly docked. We have a beautiful pond in the backyard. So for folks that have apartments that have that water view, we still have access to the water. We have our pool. We have just a wide variety of programs that are going on. Just like a cruise ship, everybody has a schedule of programs for the day, and you can get up in the morning and you can decide what you want to participate in, how busy you want to be, or some folks are heading out and doing their thing too.
Yeah, it's neat because our residents are varying levels of independence, and they kind of create their own day. We just put the support around them and provide the programmings, and they choose what they want to do just as if they were at home.
What is the biggest surprise you get when people come here that didn't know much about Atria Woodbriar campus? What is the biggest surprise? Is it the food? Is it the social atmosphere? Is it how big the place is? What is like the number one thing that people like, wow, I couldn't believe it?
I think people are just shocked by what it is when they walk in. And Sue's going to laugh when I make this reference. I talk to my dad every morning, and he always asks me, how are things going at the nursing home? And there's, the perspective that when you walk in, you kind of have that thought process that, is it going to be a nursing home? And when you walk in, and you probably felt it when you walked in, the cafe's right there, people are active, they're talking, there's a hubbub of activity going on, and I think that surprises people because they're not expecting that. They think senior living, it's going to be quiet.
Yeah, there's no weird odor. It's almost like a college campus when you walk in. You've got
Yes.
the cafe there.
Yeah.
You got people coming up with, yoga mats, and, I'm just standing there observing, and it's like people are in and out of your cafe, and there's this constant hub of activity going on that you wouldn't expect.
I think what people are really most impressed by is the energy in the building, and the feeling of engagement. People are engaged in life here. They're doing things. They have social connections. They're having fun. They're continuing to grow and learn. And there's just a whole lot of fun. The folks that are here, staff and residents, we're all here because we want to be here. This is a great place. And it's kind of a toss-up for me whether it's better to live here or work here. It's pretty close.
Well, I guess places like this get a bad rap where it's like, especially back in the old days where it's like, people just go here to die.
Right.
And it's like, no, they go here to live. And
Yes.
this is like a living example of it, really.
Yes, that's a great summation. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that we missed, or anything else that you want to touch on as far as programs or food? How about the food? Can you talk a little bit about? You talked off camera about the martinis, which was interesting because it's like people can actually go and order martinis and stuff like that, and I just find that fascinating.
Sure. So Donna referenced we have 5 different eating options here, or dining options here. In this building, we have 3. We have the dining room, the cafe, and a full-service pub with a full-service bar. And I'm telling you, the pub is just happening from about 4 o'clock on. The residents come down, they gather, and they're all very social. And they can order their favorite drink, and the staff, the bartenders will make them whatever it is they need. And you'll see some of them with a big tall martini or a Manhattan or a glass of wine or a non-alcoholic beverage if that's their choice. And it's just a great place to gather and,
Talk about some of the food. It's been a while, but I know
Donna,
you
that's
guys
your
have some
favorite.
great stuff.
The one thing that I would say, we have a director of culinary services, and he oversees the campus and the quality of food. And he has such a wide range of experience, from being a pastry chef to being a cheese artisan to having great experiences in so many different dining venues from Hawaii to Alaska. So he's always striving for excellence. And he has an assistant director of culinary services who has a wealth of experience. And what I would say is they both love for people to enjoy their food. They have such a passionate feeling about it that it's all about creating something that folks are going to enjoy. And when folks sit down in the dining room, whether a guest or our residents, they have a full menu that they can choose from. At any time of the day, they can make any choice. You can come down at 11 o'clock and still get breakfast, or at 1 o'clock come down and have your heavier meal and choose to have lighter fare.
I think I had chicken parmesan, if I remember correctly. I was like, wow, I can't believe they have that.
to die for.
Yeah. Like every day you could have salmon, you could have a seafood casserole, you could have filet mignon. Our shrimp scampi is my personal favorite. It is to die for. It's just absolutely amazing. And, and there are healthy options. There are desserts. I think the residents' favorite is the creme brulee.
Yeah, the dessert menu I remember too, because I think you
Yeah.
brought out a bunch of stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the kind of choices.
Yeah.
So I think the thought process behind having different dining venues and different choices and having an extensive menu with choice, it really underlies our philosophy about having choice. So whether we're talking about food or programs that are available for our residents, the whole idea is to have choices available to us so that our residents can make the choices that they desire, whether it's having that healthy dessert choice or going with a creme brulee, or whether it's participating in meditation or exercise, or going to those fun classes that the UN ambassador is having a talk. There's just a wide variety of choice, and that's really our goal.
Well, it must be a pretty strong philosophy because, you guys don't seem to cut any corners. It could be something where you could just do less programming, or you could do less food, or just let's start doing stuff out of a can. But you guys just, everything is like fresh. And
Yeah,
made to order.
the amazing thing with the leadership team is everybody's really creative, and so that's why we develop partnerships, because sometimes we're trading services. Someone may utilize a space for an exercise class, and then may teach a couple of classes for our residents. So it's all about collaboration with the community, because we do believe we have a beautiful resource right here, and we do try to share that with the community.
Any parting thoughts? Anything we missed as far as the secret of Atria Woodbriar campus?
The secret?
It's all about having fun.
Yeah.
And the leadership team is really a big part of that, and I believe that when you're walking through the community, you'll see lots of smiles on whether it's a staff person or resident's face. It's all because it's about having fun.
Yeah.
Well, just walking around with Sue, it's like, they're either high-fiving some of the seniors, or
They're
they're like,
heckling
hey,
me.
and it's like, it's not what you'd expect, where it's just a bunch of people that are quiet and, depressed or whatever. Everybody seems to be, having a good time and happy. Which
It is.
great
I think
to
I
see
said to
from a
you,
parent perspective, I
yeah,
guess.
from a very simple standpoint, and this just sounds so plain speak, but I think, if you were to sum or kind of try to say our mission in as few words as possible, we help older folks live really great lives. That's it.
That's great. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time today. Again, we are here at Atria Woodbriar campus, located on Gifford Street in Falmouth. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.